Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of GameBiz Heroes. Today, we're joined by a true pioneer in the mobile gaming space. For over 20 years, he's led the charge as founder of Chibi Phoenix, blending creativity and business savvy to build innovative games and communities that reach players all around the world. Please join me in welcoming the remarkable Adrien.
Adrien Bacchi, entrepreneur, soon to be 44, father of two, husband, friend, lover, gamer, and that will be brief. That will be the big thing. I've created a game studio called Chibi Phoenix. We grew it with my partners from 3 guys to 80 people at the max. Now we are a bit less. We are proud to be still independent, no investors, and have generated in total $100 million of gross sales. So that's not benefits. I'm a pretend, but I'm working on it. Okay.
So you've been leading Chibi Phoenix for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable milestone. So I was interested to ask you what inspired you to start this company like 20 years ago, and how your vision for Chibi Phoenix evolved over the last 2 decades.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, thank you for the feedback. Like, it's an amazing milestone. It doesn't feel like that because it's just, I mean, it's important for me to receive the feedback from people because I'm just me for all this time. And that's just my entire life dedicated to that.
Yeah.
So to answer this question, you have been kind enough to send me the list in advance so I can be mentally prepared and not just jazz and say whatever and improvisation like this and just put stuff, So I have asked ChatGPT to help me with these answers, and let's see. So far, they are very, very good. So to answer you, it all started with passion for storytelling and a rebellious love for manga and games that weren't getting the recognition they deserved in the early 2000s. I wanted to create a space where creators like me, fans, artists, weirdos, visionaries, could build worlds and share them freely. That spirit gave birth to Amilova first and Chibi Phoenix. That's not completely wrong. But the reality is that I started as an entrepreneur 19 years ago, so 2006, because I am absolutely incapable of being an employee. And it's just wired. As a student, I was impossible, and I tried. I did a master's degree in marketing in business school, and I did 9 internships. So during the 5 years, it was an average of 1 and nearly 2 internships per year. And it's just not possible. Not possible. I got fired in 2 places. I nearly got fired in the last. I was 1 year an intern in Bosch. So 2004, I was in Paris. Bosch, super corporate, super German, super company. And during the full year, the full process, I was just realizing little by little, actually quite fast, that I was hating it so much that that the corporate stuff was like impossible, just impossible. And I can say something. It's some interesting anecdote about 2004. Because we talk about AI and anything. So in 2004, I was using AI with a very innovative software called Excel and Access and the Microsoft Suite. So my internship, my 5th year of master degree. So even you're 23, you have a 1-year internship, very well paid in a very prestigious company, marketing, B2B, wow, super cool. You think that you're going to participate to all these super cool advertising and be on TV and do all the amazing stuff. You realize very soon, from day one, my boss, respect to her, from my boss for the time, she explains me that all the decisions are taken in Germany and that we in France, we just have to do what we have to do. And that my job as an assistant was to send faxes and photocopies. There was also stickers to put in an envelope. And a big part of the job was about receiving faxes that I would then search in the database stuff to take papers that I would write down manually, that I would make a photocopy so I can put it in the folder so I can put the fax. And I was like, but no, I'm not going to spend my year doing that. And then I asked for time, to to make some macro formula on Excel and to automate my job. And my boss was like, why do you want to change all these things? It works. The previous interns, they were doing and they were not complaining. And you just arrive with your look and your style and your things and you want to change everything. You're out of control. And I was like, okay, just give me 48 hours, please. And I did, and I automated 70% of my job because it was super easy just to have access to the database and print it and fax it from the computer. And after that, my boss loved me, and she wanted me to teach her how to teach the other interns after me how to maintain the software and all. So that was she was the first to tell me, Adrien, you're brilliant, but your hatred for anything that is standard is not gonna work. You should create your own company. And I was like, you know what? Maybe, maybe,
That's a good idea.
maybe I was at the end of a certain process,
Mhm.
and yeah, and 2 years after, I was creating my company.
So what's the main lessons that you learned from these internships? Apart from that the corporate life is not really for you.
I think the main lesson is that it's not because I think differently, and it's not because people in corporations are different and all that it can justify me being an asshole. Because I was so arrogant in my style and all that just people were just against me, and I understood that simply being nice with my boss and bringing her a coffee with milk and sugar every morning was quite nice to make the relationship a bit better. Then I understood because in my previous job I also got fired because I was a very smart asshole. And I understood that saying hello to my colleagues in the morning and going for lunch with the people and socializing is actually not very difficult, and it makes everything a lot lighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned. Number
Yeah.
one lesson.
Yes, of course, of course. But look at you. She gave you a good advice 20 years later.
Yep.
Still remembering that advice. All right. And also, so you right now, someone who is deeply involved in mobile gaming. So, what are the most significant shifts you witnessed in the industry since you started? And you gave up on ChatGPT right now. You closed your laptop.
Yeah, I think it's looking better on the picture, and then you see my terrace, the sky, springs. It's a lot more inspiring. The biggest significant shift, I would say that the production budget now for mobile games have increased so much.
Mhm.
Probably more in Asia, but you see the games that they make have the budgets of games that we were making on PlayStation 4, and they have the quality of games on PlayStation 4. They have I mean, just have to check the games that MiHoYo is doing. It's just amazing. Like everything that they did since Genshin Impact is mind blowing. Any person that is any game creator that is looking at what they're doing is must be thinking like, whoa, okay, we still have things to learn and we have to learn faster than them. So that's the biggest shift, is that I think that with the capacity of phones and all mobile devices, the microprocessor, the CPUs are getting very fast and very light. And the screens and the types of screens and all the mobile experiences are going to something that is going to rival in terms of power with the CPUs that you have in consoles and PC maybe today or maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So we are going to get more and more impressive games on mobile. That's I find it very exciting, very very exciting.
And I'm also curious, why game development company? Why you decided to start exactly this business, this company 20 years ago? Why not any other, tech company or products?
Well, 20 years ago, I didn't start with that company. That's a very important note. 20 years ago, we started being affiliates. So we were making websites and selling advertising. And because we were working for an affiliate network. So with my partners, we were looking at what other affiliates were doing in 2005. We were like, doesn't seem like very difficult to make a lot of money. So So let's do it. And we tried and we didn't manage, but we left the company and we starved for a full year in 2007. We were excited, motivated, passionate, and free and poor as fuck. And 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 we pivoted on that business. And in 2008, we knew that the company we were working for, they were very bad at email marketing. But basically, they were making so much money with classic traffic management that email marketing was something that was just piling up emails and emails and emails. And we reached out to them and said, okay, well, we know that you're not doing anything with it. We can do it for you. We do it performance based. We do the server, the marketing, the sending, the legal, whatever. We do 50-50 on the revenues. I said, okay, let's go. And that was the beginning. So the gaming thing started as a passion project. We had this game that we started in 2005, more or less. That was a fan game of Dragon Ball. It's called twofight.com, twoandfight.com, not playable anymore. And then we decided from 2010 that we seriously wanted to put all the profits where we were making with email marketing into things that were creative and fun. Because the email marketing was very profitable, but it was super boring. It's like it's a brain killer. And
Yes.
and we scaled the company from 0 to 500,000 euros in revenues, which was nearly profits at the time, and we were three. And that was in 2010, and it was making some money, but I hated my life so much. So that's where we created Amilova, our platform for digital comics. And we started writing stories, creating content, creating interactions, creating the dream. And we really had this idea that we wanted to create this universe that will bridge video games and digital comics and communities and creativity and really go from creator to creator. So that was 2010. So the vision was already good, but okay, for the execution, we were really not experienced enough to make it work. Very arrogant also. I was 29, too successful, and I really thought that everything I would touch would be transformed into gold forever, immediately. And well, that's not exactly what happened. Yeah, we've put everything we had into Aminova. It didn't work. Email marketing crashed because well, we didn't take care of it. So yeah, these were very educational experiences.
Right, right. And right now, Chibi Phoenix operates across multiple markets, cultures. So, what are some of the biggest challenges of building a globally minded games company?
Talent, talent, always talent. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to find talent. It's very difficult. I mean, the international part. So we are based mostly in Bulgaria. We are very lucky that Bulgaria is one of these countries, maybe like the Baltics actually, that have a small internal market. So to survive, they had to internationalize and export, especially in tech, very fast. And they received massive investment from American tech giants from the 90s, Microsoft, Google, VMware, and more. And they have a very strong tech culture and very international. So we got lucky, found a good place for us. And building an international team here is doable, but it's difficult to scale it. We have about 50 people now. So down 30 from the peak crazy years of COVID. Now we are a lot more selective on who we hire and who we want to keep. It's still very challenging because we have this project now to level up the talent. We are going to open a studio in France. It will most likely be in Lyon. It's not done yet, but I think it's going to happen. And I think this is going to be this idea of an international company. And more than international, I think it's very European. But if we get the best people for the best capacity in Lyon and the best people in Sofia, we can really go for the best of the best. And for all the artists, so we have internationalized the management and quality control and art direction and the tech and all. But the artistic creation itself, it's a lot of freelancers. So we are working with more than 100 freelancers that are doing like
Wow.
illustrations, animations, and all. Yeah, wow, it's just, it's true. It's a lot of people. It's a huge machine because we do a lot of live ops. And it's a lot of content, event, mythical characters, and animations, and videos, and sound, and people want more and more and more. So it's a big machine.
Yeah. But it's good. People want more. You deliver it. Everyone is happy win-win situation at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And talking about the live ops strategies, so monetization also and user acquisition has changed dramatically, especially when with the increasing of privacy regulations and all of these laws. So what strategies have you found the most effective for building engaged and loyal player community for your project?
It's a tough decision. We really started scaling our business around 2019, 2020. So we know what was the value of a player before COVID. During COVID, we did, I think, the mistake of a lot of people thinking that it will go up and up and up forever and ever, 30% growth per year, which did not happen. We nearly killed the company by investing too much in cohorts that will never be
Mhm.
profitable. I don't know. It's a never-ending change.
Yeah.
It's always changing the landscape. I remember when we started really scaling up our games in 2016, 2017, we had a return on ad spend like we were profitable in a month. And some campaigns we've made like 3,000%.
Wow.
Now, if you have a return on ad spend in less than 4 years, and if you have 7% profit, you're like you're dancing all day. I'm exaggerating, but I, I've, I think that we are getting in this space where it's not just the advertising that is a lot more expensive. It's the fact that your game needs to be actually a real game on mobile. You cannot go for an half game. People are expecting perfection.
Hmm.
And they are expecting cross-platform. They are expecting a full experience. They
Yeah.
want it in web. They want it on mobile. They want it on all devices. And yeah, the barrier to entry is really high. But that's what it is. It's just not user acquisition. I think that's the key. That user acquisition right now that would not be cross-platform. I think you're losing so much
True.
because whatever you're going to get on mobile, you know you're going to get some on browser, and whatever you can get on browser, you will have it on mobile. We know that players that are playing on mobile, if you give them a browser, they will play both.
True.
And these are the players that have the highest value. Yeah, that's what I will say right now. That things used to be easier.
That's true. That's also true. That's also I agree. And also, user-generated content, right, is becoming a huge force in gaming. So, how do you see UGC shaping the future of the industry?
I think UGC has always been there. It's just that for some reason people are waking up this year or
Yeah.
the year before. I'm really scared about people talking about UGC. It's like people are searching for a new buzzword because NFT is not trendy anymore. So they're like, what can I find that is cool with three letters? And a UGC sounds like the word of 2025. Just I
Oh,
mean I
that's
mean
fun.
I mean it's like to me talking about UGC in 2025 it's like when we were talking about metaverse in 2022. It's like, wow, there's people, they are playing in games in 3D and they choose their avatar and they can have the same name that they have in real life. It's like, wow, amazing. And there's a digital economy in these 3D games. Look, wow, wow. It's just mind blowing. So UGC in 2025? Yeah. Yes.
It's here. It's huge. And it's
Yes.
a must.
Yes. Have you heard about Roblox? It's really interesting. I think I would bet that Roblox is the future of gaming and Minecraft as well. I think it's really interesting. No, I think UGC, the big wave, the really interesting thing is not exactly UGC in itself, is the creators economy. because UGC is something that started in the 90s, maybe earlier. I think you could date, you could go. I have a PhD in UGC history. I think you could date UGC from maybe the demo scene of the 80s when we really had old computers. And then in the 90s, with everything that was part of the shareware, maps, the modding, Duke Nukem, Doom, maybe, yeah, maybe even Castle Wolfenstein 3D, maybe it had mods. But really, I remember when we were playing pre-internet in cafes, in cyber cafes, Quake 2 had a huge modding scene with skins, with maps, and it was crazy, and it was super cool. And at the time, there was no economy. The people were doing it just for fun, and it was just cool. And we started developing this as an economy from the 2000s, I think, with World of Warcraft, maybe with Dota. This is where it really started being an economy. People started talking about a second life, and people selling pieces of land and stuff. So but this was just burgeoning as an economy because the concept of people wanting to create stuff on the internet, I mean, okay, that's old. But what's really new is that people make a real living out of it. And you get this, I mean, OnlyFans is $8 billion revenue last year. That's a lot of people making money with OnlyFans. Patreon, I think it's about 2 billion. Kickstarter, I have to check on the numbers, but that's also a lot of billions. And then you get to people making revenues with Fortnite, people making revenues with Roblox. And you have kids, they are 19, and they are making really
Yeah.
a good living with Roblox, coding in blocks. I don't know their language. So this is where I think this is where the revolution is happening. TikTok and their UGC advertising. That's really interesting. So people actually make livings with this. So I would have to check more in depth, but I will say that the creators economy, make people making money with stuff online, this is booming and it's there to stay. How can we make more with video games and with creation? That's the key. This is exactly what we want to do with Amilova, our platform. So that's why I've been studying a bit the topic.
And what is maybe one game or project at Chibi Phonics that you are particularly proud of?
Amour Agent. I think it's really cool. It's the story with Amour Agent is really fun. A few years ago, the ladies of the team they told me, Adrien, enough. We are tired of making games for guys only. We want to make games for girls. Let us do it. I was like, okay, that sounds like a really cool thing. Let's do it. And yeah, we started with one game that we trashed, then we did another game that we trashed, and Amour Agent is actually playable. AmourAgent.com. It's really nice. We are not developing it very hardcore, but this is going to be part of what we want to develop for our platform Amilova. Yeah, love the art, the story, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of potential. Very proud of that one.
Ah, awesome, awesome. I will check it later. Maybe I will switch from Sims to that one. You know,
Yes,
we'll
yes, you
see.
will.
Yes, you will. I said it. All right. I also have one question about your speaker experience. So you are a frequent speaker at the industry conferences. So is there maybe a talk, a panel, a speech that stands out for you as especially memorable? Maybe
Yeah,
something fun happened, or interesting, unexpected discussion, something like this.
so that's the funny thing. I'm very new in the gaming industry. You've not seen me in the gaming industry before last year, maybe middle of the year. Because before that, we were going once a year at Gamescom with just as tourists, checking booths and be like, oh, there's people doing stuff. Interesting. And just absolutely unproductive. We were on our niche. We knew the people outside the industry, and we started really having an interest when we thought, okay, we want to expand out of our niche, and we really want to grow the business. We want to prepare for fundraising, opening the capital, and all. But before that, I was very much into the classic tech industry events like Web Summit, like Vivatech. I'm the president of French Tech Sofia in France, which is a network of a French tech entrepreneur everywhere in the world.
Mm.
mean, it's like an official thing, recognized by the French government. And I've been into a lot more classic things and a lot of affiliation and digital marketing. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of talks about digital marketing, about entrepreneurship, leadership. And now I'm rebuilding this capacity in the gaming industry because I'm in love with the gaming industry. Since I started really being there, I was like, okay, yeah, that's my thing. What have I done all my life? Why? What? Why? So now I'm like, yeah, this is my place. Yeah, because when you go to Web Summit and you talk with the ambassador of this or the prime minister of that, having a blue beard and my face is slightly odd. Slightly odd. You're slightly out of place. And in the gaming industry, I think that I'm slightly in my place. So I'm preparing a series of talks about UGC.
Wow.
That's exactly what I'm about because I've been to all these shows, listening to the panels, and I was like, but UGC is a topic, and nobody's talking about it. And I think that I'm very relevant to talk about it, and I have a lot of things that I can discuss about it. So yeah, I hope that this summer you will see my first public appearances talking about UGC.
Wow. Wow. I hope it will be at one of the conferences where I also will go. So
Yes.
waiting for announcements, waiting for LinkedIn posts. I will be on the first row taking photos, videos, and asking
Yeah.
some questions. Of course, of course. Awesome. And also, so maybe what's one advice you can give to all founders who are starting, like who are just starting their own company? What advice would you give them right now?
Their own company or their own game studio.
Okay, let's focus on gaming industry, gaming studio.
So the advice I give to young founders that want to open a gaming studio is open a pizzeria instead. More predictable. Everybody likes pizzas. Cheaper, actually. Actually, making pizzas
Cheaper,
cheaper, and more predictable. Pizzas are nice. Your family will like you.
and they will always eat there for free with
Exactly.
all relative friends.
And your family will be proud of you, and they will respect you. I mean, just and you will make a good living also. You can actually make a good living. Maybe you can go in holidays. Maybe you can not work all the time. There's all this stuff because if you really want to make a game studio, I see a lot of kids that have these sparks in their eyes. I love video games, so I will want to make video games.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I understand, but passion is a terrible driver for making business. It's horrible.
Why?
It's horrible. Because to make a business, you need a lot more than that. You need to be very pragmatic about money. You need to be able to kill your project if it's bad or if
Yeah.
it's not making money. You need to be capable to recognize that if you're working for 1 year, 70 hours per week or more, and you're still not making money, you should do something else. And it's just not reasonable to do that. And I've seen a lot of people that are, in this profile of the bedroom coder, spending all their nights and weekends on projects that they just fancy and it's looking good, and they think that there is this story of this hero that wants to save the world, but there's a twist because inside he's a demon. Wow. And they tell you about their project with so much passion, and you know with some experience that it's just this idea and this concept and this piece of code is just a fraction of what you need to make a success. So what I really advise young creators is first I recommend that you go to school, get your master degree in marketing or in game design or something. First of all, do that. Get maybe some experience in a already functioning game studio. Maybe if you work in a game studio and you bedroom code, maybe you'll get somewhere, get your connections, be pragmatic and accept the fact that if you want to make video games, you're not gonna get rich. No, you might survive, lucky. Maybe there's a 1% of people that become rich making video games, but just if you want if it's about money, do something else.
It's very sad.
Pizzeria, fintech. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Work for a bank or may do applications for a bank, do AI for a bank. I don't know. That will be a lot more profitable. In making games, and I think it's another part is that making games. I mean, it's exciting, it's fun and all, I don't complain, but the reality is that it's a job. it's really a job, and it's a job that will take you a lot more hours to make a lot less money than something else. So just accept your fate. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with all of that and you're still like, yes, but I still want it, I will suffer, I will work more, I will make less, and it will probably not work. It's like, okay, welcome, welcome. Please do it. It's a lot of fun.
Welcome to the club.
I mean, at least you have the privilege of meeting amazing people, and that's true. I'm saying this because I can compare with other industries where I also met amazing people. Please don't ban me, people, if you listen to that. But it's just that the majority of people you meet in the gaming industry, I mean, at least it resonates with me because I'm a nerd. So being a nerd, you're like, wow, they are nerd like me, super.
Let's be friends. That's a harsh truth from the founder of the gaming company, right? Wow. All
Well,
right.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not selling the dream.
No, everything is not that bad, but pizzeria is also a good point. That's true. All right, Adrian. I think we finished with the parts about the gaming industry,
Hi.
about work stuff. So let's move on to blitz questions. I prepared some fun questions for you about yourself, your life. So the answers can be short, a couple of sentences, words, as you wish. So the first question is, what's your favorite mobile game of all the time?
Clash Royale. Equal
Really?
and go.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and I'm very competitive on Clash Royale. It's destroying my life. It's hours and hours and hours of per day. And I met guys from Supercell in GDC in a networking event. We were running together, and I insulted them copiously because the latest updates on Clash Royale are really trash. I don't understand them.
And what's the answer over?
The answer was, but I'm a developer on A-Day, so sorry.
So it's not my problem. I love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Okay. And so what is your guilty pleasure?
Are there kids listening?
No.
Okay. Music. My guilty pleasure is whenever I can, that is daily. I chill and play music, and I practice piano, singing, guitar, and that's my guilty pleasure. It's not so guilty, but yeah, it's my meet.
And we need to say hi to Irina from DEFCON team, right? At this point, because she's your partner in any musical pauses at the conferences. She's playing the piano and you're singing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What's your band name? You need to think of it.
We need to think about what we are going to play. This is the most important is the music itself, and also how much we are going to charge at the conferences. I started with an idea with 5 digits, but didn't get a very good echo.
How much longer you can give this pleasure to people for free, right?
Exactly. Now we are just in the freemium phase, giving samples. It's like it's like the street dealers. The first dose is for free, and then
Trial period. Okay, Irina, you need to think about it. Contact Adrian. He have some numbers in mind. What's one surprising fact that most people don't know about you?
well, if they don't know about me, should I want them to know?
That's also a good question. Think about before answering if you want to people know it.
But maybe I'm not even aware myself. I will say the fact that I'm a very shy and introvert. I think people don't know that.
Oh, don't believe of words. How? How?
I worked on it. I'm a good actor. But after this conversation, that is a lot of extraversion for me. I will have to curl up in a box, in my cardboard box for at least 72 hours.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a nice box.
The next question I think would be very interesting for you. So imagine that Chibi Phoenix were a character in the game. So how would you describe its personality or outlook?
Chibi Phoenix, a character in a game. Chibi Phoenix is first of all, it's a very humble and fun animal. But despite being fun and humble, it's a very powerful animal. Because Chibi means small and cute. And that was the important part about it. Because some people in the team were like, wow, we want to be named like Super Mega, Dark Phoenix, Power Phoenix. What about Super Fire Phoenix? Volcano Mega Volcano Phoenix. Sounds good. I was like, sounds super boring. And And yeah, I thought that small and cute was really nice. And the phoenix has always been our mythical animal because, I mean, in nearly 20 years of entrepreneurship, the numbers of failures and bankruptcies and disease and death that we've been facing, we've been through a fucking lot of hard stuff, and we're still there. We're still there. That was actually the really beginning. Our first company was called Supernova Media, based in Brussels. That's where it started. And we thought, okay, now we live in Bulgaria, 2008, and we can say that the supernova exploded, and we are reborn as Phoenix.
Wow, what a
That was
story. Yeah.
that was the full idea, and we stayed with the Phoenix forever.
Wow, that's a really the sweet story. Yeah, yeah. All right. And the next question. So, what's your go-to resource for staying informed about gaming trends or news in the industry?
Conferences, because I don't know. It's a very good question. So I'm trying to train an AI and feed it different sources to create my own database of news and all. So the idea sounded very cool, but the results are so weird that conferences, and finding experts and make them drink so much that they will give
All
you
the secrets before
all the
before it's
secrets.
live.
Exactly, all the secrets. For every beer they drink, you drink water, and you're like, oh, but tell me about your ROI on this campaign. Show me again. Show me again. Oh, it's very interesting. I like the interface you're doing. Show me again. I will just film it. Don't worry. It's just, you know,
Under the coat,
yeah.
And what's the next conference then where we can expect to see you?
So Vivatech in Paris, for sure, for those that go to this type of event. It's really nice. I really like Vivatech, but it's very generalist. So you have everything from electric
Yeah.
trains, drones, to a bit of video games and esport. But it's a really big event in France. DEFCOM and Gamescom for sure. Then I'm debating on other events. I mean, let's be fair. I would love to go to TGS again. But I mean last year I had to lie to my partners and tell them it was a super business when I actually just wanted to go to Tokyo. So I'm not sure that it's going to work two times, especially that now I publicly admitted that actually I just wanted to go to Japan. But Japan is amazing. I mean, inspiration.
Yes.
It was worth
Almost every
it.
person on the podcast saying Japan, Japan, Japan. So yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it. And the last question that I have for you for today. So imagine that you can have a coffee tomorrow with any person from the industry, game development, publishers, service provider, just a person from present, past, wherever. So who would it be and what you want to ask them?
I mean, isn't it obvious? No, I would have a coffee with you.
Finally, I have someone saying that it's me.
No, I thought everybody would say that. No, I'd like to have a coffee with you, at least to thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
We can have again, we can meet again in the same restaurant that we had lunch with you last Gamescom with that big German sausages,
Zero
sauerkraut.
percent, 0%. We are not meeting there. I got sick the whole night. I mean, I had dreams about tentacles and all with fever. It's just no, I cannot. We'll go to the next restaurant, okay? The one just in front. But
It's a
not
line,
that.
so we will try each year. We will try the next one, right?
But deal. Okay, okay. We'll meet there.
Okay,
100%.
the next restaurant in August, in 20 dates in August. Okay, got it. Awesome, awesome. Well, on this nice positive note with our plans fixed, I want to thank you for coming today, showing us this amazing view for the whole interview. Sorry, I watched only through your window, not.
That's nice.
Yes,
See,
that's amazing. Wow.
Sofia, Bulgaria, my one of my
Amazing.
favorite places on the planet. Amazing
Wow.
people, amazing country. Should come and
Amazing
visit.
food. I have been in Bulgaria and
Yeah?
I know that is, yes, also amazing, amazing beaches, food, entertainment parts. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much again for coming. For sure, I wishing you a very nice time in Paris, visiting that huge conference.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tech Gamescom kind of thing, about everything. Yeah, where you
Yes.
can find everyone. And always happy to see you. I smile, my cheeks are burning. I smiled for 45 minutes, and it's always happening when we're talking with you. So thank you for this, for my new wrinkles. And yeah, and I wish you have a very nice day ahead.
Thank you very much, Melania. Peace and
Thank you. Bye
love.
bye.
Wish you the best. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a wrap for today's episode of Game Biz Heroes. Make sure to subscribe, leave feedback, and share it with your friends. And of course, stay tuned for more inspiring stories and insider tips from the brightest minds in gaming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next episode.